If someone had told Audrey Miller that teenage jealousy would literally make girls dig a pit to bury her, she'd have laughed. But looking back, she realized envy wears the softest smile and speaks in the sweetest tone before it strikes. Audrey never asked for attention. They simply called her the Willow Creek Jewel, a title she never wanted. Audrey was an only child to simple, humble parents. Their life was peaceful until other people's opinions started carving out her reality. The trouble began with giggles and whispers in the town square. Then, one afternoon by the community lake, it turned hostile. Ugh, look how she walks. Like she owns the whole state just because she's got a nice face. They made her their daily topic, calling her names like Trophy Girl and Ice Queen. She cried in private. Her mother, ever the comfort, would tell her, "Sweet honey attracts jealous flies, my daughter. Don't dim your light because others can't handle it." But the pain only deepened. Then came the announcement that changed everything. The town's first son, Ethan Hayes, was hosting a formal ball, a high-profile event where he was expected to choose a partner. Every single girl in Willow Creek was buzzing. Audrey planned to skip it, knowing the mockery that awaited. But her mother was firm. "You will go, Audrey. Don't let fear cage your destiny." Audrey prepared quietly, her heart filled with a fragile hope. Meanwhile, in a dark corner of the town's park, the trio met. "If she shows up, Ethan won't even glance at us," Madison sneered. Brooke, the leader, had a plan. They would pretend to befriend her. A few days later, they arrived at Audrey's door. All smiles and apologies, bearing gifts. Audrey's loneliness was a powerful siren. Despite her mother's warning, snakes don't change, they just shed skin. Audrey desperately wanted to believe they had changed. She trusted them. They learned the route she planned to take. And then, fueled by pure malice, they went to work. With shovels and a dark determination, they dug a deep, wide hole in an isolated part of the forest preserve. The morning of the ball arrived. Mrs. Miller gave one last anxious hug. "Audrey, promise me, go to the venue alone." But moments later, the girls arrived looking like brightly colored flowers. "Audrey, we came to walk with you. Let's take a shortcut through the preserve," Taylor chirped. Audrey hesitated for a second, but her mind shouted, "They've changed. They're my friends." They walked and laughed. And for the first time in months, Audrey felt happy. Then, deep in the thicket, the laughter died. She stepped forward and the ground gave way beneath her. A scream tore the air as she tumbled into the deep earthen pit. Pain shot through her legs. Dazed and covered in dirt, she looked up. Above her, the trio stared down. "Look at you, Audrey," Brooke sneered. "The Willow Creek Jewel. You wanted to dance? Dance there." Their laughter echoed through the silent trees. "Please, help me. Why are you doing this? You think you're better than us? Let's see if first son Ethan still wants you now." They walked away. She screamed until her voice cracked, clawing at the deep, unforgiving walls. The sky dimmed. The cold hit her. And Audrey was left there, broken and shivering, knowing she was trapped. The ball went on. But Audrey never arrived. Her parents were frantic. Meanwhile, the first son, Ethan, felt no connection to any of the dancing maidens. The ball was called off. The next morning, as the sun rose, a park ranger named Jake prepared for his patrol. Venturing deep into the forest preserve, Jake heard a faint, desperate cry. Following the sound, he found the deep pit and the exhausted girl within. Weak and trembling, Audrey was pulled to safety. Jake bypassed the village. He knew this was a matter for the highest authority. He took her straight to the mayor's estate. Audrey's parents rushed to the estate, stunned and relieved. The mayor was horrified. The trio was summoned. They nervously denied everything. But under the mayor's stern gaze, one girl finally broke. "We were jealous. Our mothers always told us to be more like her, so we just wanted to scare her." The mayor was merciless. The girls were taken into custody. But the biggest shock came moments later. Ethan Hayes stepped forward. He walked past the crowd, walked over to Audrey, brushed the dirt from her gown and took her hand. He had found his wife. Audrey's destiny had been fulfilled despite their desperate attempts to sabotage it. The girls learned that the pit they dug for someone else ultimately became their own prison, and Audrey, the Willow Creek jewel, finally wore her crown.